So I will just transfer to Samandar temporarily, and then I'll come back to you
Okay.
just to find out a place where internet is better. Samandar, please turn on your voice. We're coming to you. Our radio show begins with Samandar. Samandar, how are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I'm fine, very good. Thank you. How's it in Kyrgyzstan?
Weather is cold. We have some raining. We have some rain.
Oh, really? It is
Yep.
totally different in Tashkent. It's very hot, and the weather is well, awesome over here. That's great.
Our
And
country is mountain. We have a lot of mountains, so it's cold sometimes.
that's great. That's great. So, are you ready to start our speaking test?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Okay. You guys in the background, don't sit just listening to Samandar's answer. What you're going to do, try to answer your with your own response, and I would in the same manner I would advise this to do for those who are going to watch this podcast. It's not a podcast, but it's a kind of a webinar later on YouTube. What you guys are going to do is to listen to the question that I'm asking from the examinee and try to answer with your own answer. You can pose it or whatever. All right. So Samandar, we will continue talking about festivals because it's very interesting for us. Most of those people who are sitting here are from Uzbekistan, and you're not the only person who's from another country. So, can you tell me about the most important festival in your country?
Yes, of course. We have no any festivals like or no rules. No, here is our country is not like very religious, so the only festival is very popular our among the people. This New Year.
Mhm. Okay. And what special food and activities are connected with this festival?
Usually people are doing in the New Year some beş parmak. Beş parmak are traditional food, as you know, and they are doing some alivias, as you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what kind of activities? What kind of activities do you do?
Everyone is sitting in their own home. No one is going outside in New Year. It will be it will be so dangerous in New Year go outside. Usually we're doing New Year in our own home, and we're just sitting around the round table and just
Mhm.
speaking about the last year.
Ah, okay. That's great. Now let me ask you about what do you most enjoy about it, about this festival?
I always waiting the New Year because in the New Year all our family is coming to someone's house, and we're all sitting around the table, and any our relatives coming. For example, the relatives who wasn't in our house like for 5 or 2 years, they're coming to our house and sitting, and we have a good talk.
That's great. So that's the part that you like about this festival very much, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And do you think festivals are important for a country?
Festivals, yes, I think it's very important because it's the only way to communicate with others, to speak in a real about real topics.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Now we're going to talk about. Uh, one second, please. We're going to talk about visitors. Okay, so you've started talking about visitors, some kind of people who gather together. So,
Hmm?
what would you suggest a visitor should see or do in your country?
Can you repeat question?
Imagine you have faced with a foreigner,
Hmm.
or even me. What would you suggest me to? to see and do in your country?
To bring some food.
To bring some food with me. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
What are the things that you suggest me to do and see in your country?
sorry, I don't understand the question. Can you move to
Yeah,
another one?
I will not move to another one. I will try to explain that question. Imagine I came to your country, and what would you advise me to do in your country? And what would you advise me to see in your country? What places would you advise me to see in your country?
Oh yeah, I would absolutely recommend to visit our Osh, the one of the oldest towns. I would like to go with you to watch and show you the oldest mountain in the world, Sulaimanto, in which has the home of Babur, Zahra Muhammad Babur.
Hmm. Okay. Uh-huh. Um, and are there any traditional arts or music you would recommend?
Yeah, I would recommend to listen the Sumokul Chokmor's music, which is very popular among the Kyrgyz. It played in the komus, our traditional musical stuff.
Instrument. Okay. Now, tell me about the kind of foreign visitors or tourists who go to your country. What kind of visitors and tourists go to your country? From which countries generally they go?
Mostly to our country coming visitors from Russia, and from the like in 80% they're coming from Asia.
Mhm,
Mostly it's from Russia. They're coming to our lake, Skull Lake.
mhm. And in what ways has tourism changed in your country? Has it changed from the past?
I don't think so. We haven't any changes in tourism. It always have been the same number. It hasn't changed at all. We don't have another things to show, so it hasn't changed.
Okay. Thank you very much for your kind response and answer. Now, I would like to give you some advice and I'd like to give some feedback on the answers that you have done. Generally, what I have felt, you have problem with grammar because when you're responding to a question where you have to speak in present simple, you are talking in present continuous. You're saying usually are doing. So I asked you a question about festivals and what people do during this festival. So when the question is asked in present simple, when when I say what do people do during festivals, you should say they usually do or prepare or eat. So, but what you're doing is they usually preparing, they're usually sitting. It's not present continuous tense that you have to use in this case. You should pay attention in what tense am I being asked. If you're being asked in present simple, then you should talk in this tense. On the other hand, you should also pay attention if the question is about past or about the future. I have asked you in what ways have changed, but you haven't said many things about past, but you were talking in present tense. You said people will be, uh, it will be so dangerous. You said it will be so dangerous. It will be so dangerous means it's going to be in the future. But you're talking about the activities that you do every year. You say it is dangerous to go outside in the evening because of some, I don't know, some kind of problems. I don't know what kind of problems you have. So so it's so dangerous in your country, but you should be. using correctly the grammar tenses. Okay, Samandar, were you here? Did you listen to everything that I said?
Yeah, yes, I'm hearing you. Thank you.
Yeah, the way that you're using tenses is incorrect, partially, but I'm not saying always you're making the same mistake, but partially. Um, on the other hand, it's good that you're responding well. You're not mumbling. You're not thinking too much about the answer. You're directly going to answer and giving your response. That's great. If you keep up that way, well, I have to check how well you can do with part two. With part one, that's totally fine. Just work a little bit on your grammar skills and check if you're correctly using the tenses when you're recording yourself. See if the question is in present simple. Did you answer in present simple or did you use another tense? So that's what you have to check whenever you record yourself. Did you get?
Yes, thank you.
That's great. Okay, thank you very much. Who's the next in our today's show? I would like to go back to Muazzam to give some feedback. Muazzam, are you here?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay, so did you find a place with a very better, much better connection?
Yes, of
Okay, so I feel like it is a little better, but I don't know exactly. So Moza, what I can suggest to you is you had a small mistake, couple of small mistakes related to grammar. You were not using uh, prepositions in the correct place. You said my brother or father. I don't remember exactly. You said I guess you said my brother works in school. He works at school, not in school, but at school. Some prepositions. You said party, but you were actually asked about a festival, but you have well changed festival, the word festival to party. You know, party is another thing, festival is another thing. You don't. Yeah, well, they have almost the same structure, almost the same uh, meaning, but you were being asked about festivals. You should respond with this word better to make sure that you understand what I mean. When you say parties, it's more like a extra activity that you do to have some fun. But festivals are some kind of traditional things that you do in your country. So you should pay attention to that and be careful. Okay.
okay, okay,
Okay. I will ask you some couple more questions. If you can answer, then we will shift on to another person. I would like to know who's ready next, so I will directly go from Mozam to that person. I'd like to ask you, yeah, those who are ready, just let me know in the chat box, letting me know that you are ready. I will go to you after Mozam. So, Mozam, now we're going to talk about daily routines, all right?
okay.
What would you like to change in your daily routine?
I would like change in daily routine. For example, every day, usually I go to school at 8 o'clock, at 8 a.m. I would like to change this to 9 a.m., for example.
All right, so you want to shift the time, the start of your day at school from 8 to 9. That's what I understand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so great. Is this the only thing that you want to change in your daily routine?
Yes, I think, yeah.
Okay. Are all your days the same? This is my next question. Are all your days the same?
Not all my days. From Monday to Saturday, yes, they are same, but on Sunday, not the same situation.
Okay, so what is the difference between these 6 days and the other weekend which you have mentioned?
On Sunday, I will rest more than on other days.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't go to school
Mm-hmm. Okay.
at the moment. I haven't to reply my teachers and do
Mm.
homework.
Great. Thank you. My next question is, tell me about your typical weekday and your typical weekend, please.
My typical weekday is, for example, Monday. As I said, at 8 o'clock I go to school, and I usually finish my school at 1 p.m. at 2 p.m. Then after it, if I have a tutor lessons, I will go to this lesson. Then I will come home
Mm-hmm.
to have a dinner. Then I will do my lessons and speak with family, maybe, or maybe with my friends, and then sleep. That's my was my typical weekday. And my typical weekend, it's usually I spend this time at home, mostly at home, do my lessons, spend time with my pet.
Mm-hmm.
I have a dog,
Mm-hmm.
and usually I go to visit my grandma.
Outstanding. That's
That's
great.
it.
That's great. So, thank you very much for participation. You've done well. I just want to give you some advice. I would say that the advice that I'm going to give you is almost the same as Samandar's one, because you made the same mistakes as Samandar did. If you remember, I asked you about your weekends, the last question, but you were saying with the usage of future tense. You said, if I have, I will go. If I have, I will do. If I have, so it's not the thing that I'm asking, what would you do in the future if you had this? I'm not asking you something about the future tense. I'm referring to the fact that that you do every day in your life. You should say, if I have, well, it's not if. You say, whenever I have extra classes, I go. It's not I will go. Because if you say I will, it's going to be something that you're good planning in the future or that might happen in the future. So be careful. You're not using proper tense when you're answering. You should be careful. You also said, on Sunday, I will. Uh, so I'm not asking about the future plans. I am asking, what do you normally do in on weekend at weekends, on weekdays? So you should say, on Sunday I go, or I stayed home with my family. So you should be using correct tense. So when you're practicing at home, when you're answering to those practice questions that I'm sending, I don't remember exactly if you have sent, but if you haven't, what you need to do, watch those videos that I have already sent, answer to them, record it, and send it to me. Before you send, make sure that you didn't make this mistake. Pay attention in your tenses. You and Samandar, you guys are very, you have to be careful with the proper usage of present tense, future tense, and past tense. You're making mistakes, very obvious mistakes, and that will lower your score when you go to IELTS exam. So you should be careful with the tenses. Am I clear? Did you get what I mean? What I mean?
Yes, I got it.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I haven't seen anybody telling me that they are ready. Um, our radio show is going to finish in 5 minutes. We've got 7 minutes left. So if there is anybody who wants to participate in our 7 minute radio show, just let me know. The one who says I'm ready first, I'm going to go with that person. Waiting, waiting, waiting. No one is ready. No one wants to speak. No one wants to be checked. We've got 6 minutes left. All right. I guess everybody is afraid to show off their language skills. I'm pretty much happy to see you guys again today. Well, actually, as I said, today we had only 30 minutes of lesson, which was, I guess, helpful for most of you. Again, the most important thing when you're speaking in IELTS speaking test, you have to pay attention to the grammar tense, in which tense you are normally being asked. If you're asked in past tense, you should speak using past tense. If you're asked in present tense, you should make sure that you are using present tense. Sometimes the questions are very tricky. They say, "How has something changed since you were a child?" So in this question, you are going to use two tenses. You're going to say something in past tense. You said, "In my childhood, it was like this." And now it is like that. So you should make sure that you're using two tenses, past simple or past whatever and present whatever tense. You should show the examiner that you can correctly use the tenses. That's why they jump from one tense to another tense all the time that they're when they're asking questions. They can their first question could be, okay, now let's talk about daily routines. What are your daily routines? That's present simple. And then they will ask, how has the things changed in your daily routine since your I don't know, whatever, in the past. Then how would you change your daily routines? How would you means like how do you want to change it in the future? So they will jump from one tense to another tense, from question to question, to make sure and to check how well you can speak in those tenses. So what you're going to do is, when you're recording your answers, pay attention. What was the question form? In which tense the question asked me? Then you should answer in that tense. If you correctly answer using the correct tense, then it's okay. So in most of your answers, what I feel now is that you are not able to use the tense or the verb in a correct tense. So, and some of you are still having problems with irregular verbs. You say, uh, cut is a cut. You don't really need to say cutted. It's not correct, but some of you made this simple mistake, like by saying cutted, uh, or whatever. I'm not going to go deeply in details who made that mistake. You guys know, you were following this. You know exactly who made that. I don't want you to make simple mistakes which will later lead you to have um, a low score from IELTS. So again, if you guys have any questions, we've got 3 minutes left. Just fire them away in the chat box. I will try to answer and put within 2 minutes. But if you guys have no questions, I was happy to see you again here. We will have the same lesson tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That's going to be another 40 minutes radio show with you. So if you want to be checked, you're welcome. As you have noticed, I can check 2 to 3 people in 40 minutes. That's pretty much great. I will try to make it even more, like from 3 to 4 people. The process of giving feedback takes a little bit more time. Um, so what I advise you to be first, and then say, okay, I'm ready to start being interviewed. All right. So hope that it was useful for you. Hope that this kind of lessons will be useful, and as you have changed your writing skills, your speaking skills will be also improving day by day, and hopefully when I see you in personal, face to face, I will start speaking with you guys only English. That will make me happy. If I speak only English with you and if you can respond to every single question that I'm asking, or to every topic, whatever topic which is surrounding us, and if that is only being spoken in English, I will be more happy because I will see the results of the job that I have done. All right. So if you guys have no other questions, I will see you tomorrow at 2. At the same time, I'm always online. Send your homework, send your writings, speakings, and yeah, go to YouTube, watch those videos that I have sent. Yesterday, I have sent a video of speakings collections. Today, I will send another speaking test. That's going to be different, not the same as number 1 and 2. Um, yeah, and I will try to give you some more advice on IELTS today. Yeah, today I'm going to have a productive day. I will be taping some videos to publish and to upload on YouTube. Yeah, wait for something interesting later. And no questions, I guess. See you guys. Hope you will be working on yourself. Good luck. See you later.